You see, Myra and her cronies figure I'm one of the girls. And the governor thinks I'm shaping up to be a model prisoner. So do the screw. Sorry, officers.
Don't underestimate me, Keen. You might win a few rounds, but you'll never win the game.
Don't bet on it.
I have every confidence that you and your staff can cope with the situation, Mrs. Reynolds. I do hope my confidence isn't misplaced.
So do I. But it's going to take a lot more than confidence to keep Miss Sarah Higgins alive and well in here.
Yeah, okay, she had to be taught a lesson, but you didn't have to hit her, Myra.
Oh, come on, Jude, you're too soft. She's got to be taught responsibilities for her actions, and it looks like it's up to me to teach her. And as long as I'm top dog, the same applies to anyone who steps out of line.
God, not now.
Say it's the presentation that counts.
What do you want, Bernie King? Marlene, whatever's the matter? Nothing to change luck will be bloody fixed. Oh, your little business transactions. I risk my neck bringing the stuff in, then it's useless because buy-up's back on, then I get sprung and the freak pinches it all.
Well, I always think it's better to look on the bright side.
Yeah, what's that?
You would have got caught eventually, so by stopping now, you can buy it back with the money you've saved. You're all quiet.
Just what I said.
Just waiting for our top dog to give us permission to eat.
Pardon?
I am off it. You're the one that's playing God.
Look, I thought you of all people would understand.
Yeah, I understand a lot of things now.
Bobby! What's happened?
Why don't you ask Myra?
Meg, you can't just keep shutting yourself out of the rest of the world.
I wish you'd keep your professional advice to yourself. I'm busy. I'll see you tomorrow.
It's unlikely, but she won't lag if she was bashed.
Off home then, are you?
Sure, I'm seeing you tomorrow.
Oh, could you see me in my office tomorrow, please?
Yes. Midday, okay?
Yes, fine. I'll see you then.
Yeah.
Bye. No, I'm sorry to have called you here, but it won't take long.
What's the problem?
We've got a new guest arriving tomorrow, Sarah Higgins.
Oh.
I'll explain later.
But why here?
It will mean extra headaches for us, but there's nothing we can do about it.
Well, I hope the department realises that we cannot be held responsible for what might happen to someone like Higgins.
She'll be kept in isolation to avoid trouble with the women. Meg will be redoing the rosters. It will mean extra work, but there's nothing we can do about it.
I suppose the department expects us to work extra shifts, eh?
They're aware of our staffing situation. Now, the second problem is the smuggling business.
Well, Warren didn't give any clues away.
No. She hasn't had any visitors lately, but someone must be helping her. I want to talk to Stan about it. I wonder if you'd go and find him, would you, Miss Ferguson, and tell him to come to my office.
Yeah, okay.
Now, what does a patrol on isolation do to these rosters?
Then maybe it's time you voted in a new top dog. That's what it's going to come down to, unless a few changes are made around here. Oh, you don't have to tell me what you're thinking. Myra is an animal. Myra has become power crazy. Well, the fact is, Myra is fed up. I am fed up with you lot acting like a bunch of school kids. I'm fed up with cleaning up your mess after you. You can call me what you like. I just think I'm a damn fool for ever believing that I could teach you lot to be responsible enough to cope on the outside. The way Bobby's going, she's never going to get outside. And you're heading the same way.
There's something wrong, Myra, if you have to bash people.
Oh, yeah. There is something very wrong indeed. But no one ever listens, do they? In one ear and out the other. Well, if I'm to stay top dog, everyone is going to toe the line or else. If not, just let me know. I'll be in myself.
Well, I don't remember her telling Lou or Alice to toe the line.
Maybe she only means the ones she cares about.
There are other ways of doing things. Look at Bobby.
I reckon Myra's right, Jude. Same as on the streets. The only time I ever listened to the cops was when I thought I was going to get a bashing.
All right, what's it going to be?
Well, as far as I can see, we haven't got a choice. I mean, nobody else wants the job, do they?
Get an ambulance! Right. 1, 2, 3. Come on, Stan.
Oh, it's been so long since the last buy-up, I've forgotten all the things I want to.
Do you reckon I could ask for a new face?
Oh, come on, honey. You'll be as pretty as ever in no time. Now, where's Marlene? She's going to miss the buy-up order.
Oh, she had to go to the kitchen. She forgot to empty the bins or something.
Are you all right, Mrs. Slashery? You look a bit pale.
Not that it's any of your business, Mason, but I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, you're going to take the buy-up orders, Mrs. Slattery?
Guess what? This ambulance just screamed in.
Who for?
I don't know, but these two guys ran out and ran towards the tool shed.
No!
Bobby, what's wrong?
Stan's in the tool shed.
Oh, honey, come on. You don't know that for sure.
Yes, I do. Don't I, Mrs. Slattery? Tell me it's not Stan.
Sorry, I can't say anything.
Let me go to him. I want to know Stan.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, how's life amongst the fat cats on campus?
Well, for the resident shrink-stroke counsellor, it's not so cushy, I'm afraid. Well, it's suitably remunerated, of course, but it's bloody hectic.
Well, I'll bet I can guess who your best clients are.
Oh, the psych students, of course. Off the air, half of them.
Makes you wonder how we turned out so, normal.
Just lucky, mate. Tell me about the vexed world of rehabilitation versus punishment.
Right now, I'm afraid it's more a case of the, department versus me. I'm not on a salary.
That is not a good way to get rich, Philip.
No, but I guess it's what we do-gooders deserve, eh?
I've always liked your sense of humour, mate. It's sick. I think half the kids on campus are straight compared to you.
Yeah, look who's talking.
It's good to see you. How long's it been? 6 months?
At least. Which makes me feel bloody awful. Well, I asked you out here to ask you a favor.
Don't be bloody ridiculous. Anyway, I owe you one, remember? That young lady you set me up with on a blind date about a year ago. She was something else, mate. I was with her for about 6 months. New record for me.
Yeah, well, look, I'm not looking for setting a record. This does involve a lady.
Ah.
She's an officer at Wentworth, and, well, everything was going well until a couple of weeks ago,
And?
she was raped.
I see. Is she all right?
No, but she won't accept any professional help, so...
And you want me to pretend to be just a friend? No worries. Now, I think this must be the first professional compliment you've ever paid me.
Yeah, well, the reason I understand is that that's what changed me. You all sticking up for my mum. Made me feel someone cared. That's what you're trying to do for Bobby, isn't it? Show her you care?
Yes, of course it is.
Read this thing about kids once. Said they like a good belting. Makes them feel secure. Lets them know the oldies care enough to get mad.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure where I dipped out. Oldies were never bloody there. Too busy.
Oh, well, something had to be done. I couldn't stand around any longer and watch her going further and further down the drain.
Look, mightn't mean much to you, but I agree with what you did.
Thanks. Marlene better watch herself too. Oh, I know it's only small stuff at the moment, but suddenly it can get out of hand.
Yeah, well, I think most of the women will go along with you.
Most isn't enough.
Oh, well, except Jude, probably. She's pushing her point a bit hard. But then everyone knows Jude's a bit of a softie when things get rough.
Oh, Jude's all right.
Oh, yeah, sure. She wants what's best for the women. Just seems a shame, that's all.
What?
Oh, with the two of you backing each other up, things are under control. Then again, 2 points of view could be a good thing.
Look, Bobby, you can't even be sure that it was Stan.
Mrs. Slattery didn't say it wasn't, did she?
Yeah, well, she's not allowed to say one more...
Don't crap me! Please.
Maybe he just fell over or something, hurt his hip.
Well, then why isn't no one saying anything? He's dying.
Bobby!
He's dying and I caused it!
Oh, don't be stupid. You weren't even out there today.
Myra said he saw those dope plants that I was growing. He's got a bad ticker. He's been popping pills for years. Worry's the last thing he needed. Did you know he wanted to be me dad? All I ever did was give him a hard time.
Lights out in 10 minutes.
Miss Ferguson? It was Stan, wasn't it?
Yes. His heart.
Is he going to be all right?
I doubt it. No use pretending. Mitchell? I found him, you know. His heart had stopped altogether. Oh, now and then he'd come good and then it'd stop again. It's funny, you know, I could almost feel him trying to come through. Poor old bugger.
Mrs. Dobson?
Yes.
Meg Morris. I came in the ambulance for Stan.
It's bad, isn't it?
Mrs. Dobson,
Yes.
I'm terribly sorry, but it doesn't look good. He's suffered a massive coronary, and with his already weakened heart from the previous condition, it's a matter of wait and hope, I'm afraid.
Can I see him?
Of course.
Thank you.
Have you heard anything?
Nothing.
Was it Stan?
I think it must have been.
Was Stan heart attack?
That's enough, Warren.
Oh, no, how is
Is he
he?
going to be all right?
I said that's enough. Now get a move on.
Okay, come on, let's go.
Crying out loud, all we're trying to do is find out how he is.
You looking for a charge, Bryant?
Come on, Jude.
Eddie?
Morning.
You're early.
Yes, I thought I'd get everyone to sign a card for Stan before I started.
Good on you. How is he?
Well, he made it through the night, which is a good sign.
He has a history of heart trouble, doesn't he?
Oh, and I saw Joyce there. She should be out tomorrow.
Oh, thank God for that. I know it sounds selfish, but these double shifts are killing me. Hang on and I'll sign that. Reception. Oh, fine. Thank you. That was the gatehouse. The new officer, Len Murphy's on his way up.
Should be interesting.
Why?
Seems Joan Ferguson heard good things about him.
Oh, I can imagine what that means.
We mustn't prejudge, must we?
No, the more of us to share the load, the better.
Exactly. Oh, you must be Len Murphy.
Yes, found the right place, have I?
Yes. I'm Meg Morris, Deputy Governor.
Deputy Governor at your age. Nice to meet you.
And this is Pat Slattery.
Hello.
Hello, Pat.
Well, welcome to Wentworth.
Thanks. Oh, look, you shouldn't have gone to all that bother.
It's for Stan Dobson. You know him?
Stan, yes, lovely man. It's his birthday, isn't it?
No, he's sick. He had a heart attack.
Oh, no. When?
Last night.
Sorry to hear that. Look, I feel awful about the
All
card.
right, you weren't to know.
I'd like to add my signature, if it's all right.
Of course.
Thanks. One of nature's gentlemen, old Stan.
I love the smell of bacon in the morning. It reminds me of breakfast.
Quick, they're stacking on a huge turn.
What about?
I reckon the porridge is too salty.
But that's ridiculous. I asked Pixie to check it.
Oh, well, I thought it needed a bit extra.
How much?
Well, I worked it out. 1 teaspoon per bowl times the number of serves, and then I looked up the front of a cookbook to convert tablespoons to grams. I think I just said tablespoons, didn't I? Oh, wow!
How could she? How could she? Huh?
Quick, I need to talk to you
What?
urgent.
What?
I got busted. The freak.
You mean?
All the stuff you brought in.
Oh my God.
But it's all right.
Well, how could it be all right?
When they asked me where it come from, I wouldn't tell them.
Well, they won't leave it at that. They'll make you.
How?
How? Starvation, torture, anything.
Don't be silly. Just don't panic.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Oh, Ray, Mrs.
Yeah.
Reynolds would like to see you straight after breakfast.
Yeah, yes, Ta. Thank you.
You all right?
Yes, I was tasting some of my food. I am gonna be sick.
Oh, Miss Ferguson. I'd like you to meet the new member of our team, named Murphy. Joan Ferguson.
How do you
Well.
do? Heard quite a bit about you.
Not all bad, I hope.
Have you had a chance to see around the place yet?
Yes, Mrs. Reynolds gave me the quick guided tour. I must say, from what I've seen, I'm most impressed. I gather the emphasis is on rehabilitation, which is what we're all about in the long run, isn't it?
Well, that's what we strive for.
Of course, at Woodridge, they're all men, but I gather the same principles apply here.
Look, I've got a meeting soon. Miss Ferguson, could you come to my office in 20 minutes?
Certainly, Governor.
And then could you come with me now and collect your workers' comp forms and so on?
Nice to meet you, Joan.
Yes. How wrong can you be? Another do-gooder, eh?
Seem very genuine to me.
I think that's what I mean.
Bobby, love, you've got to stop worrying.
Yes, love, even if there is any news, we'll be the last to know.
The freak could say something.
The freak? Oh.
Yeah, the only reason she's so snarly this morning is because she's worried too.
Oh, I find that hard to believe.
True. She found him. She was nearly bawling last night.
Hey, guess what? We've got a new screw, a bloke.
Oh? What's his name?
Murphy. Overheard Reno introduce him.
Murphy? Name rings a bell. Len Murphy, Woodridge?
Yeah, what have you heard?
Can't quite remember, but whatever it wasn't good.
Well, maybe we ought to get the PRG to check him out.
Yeah, well, leave it to me. Let's hope I'm wrong.
What if you're not?
Don't reckon it matters. Sounds like a top dog's problem to me.
Thank you, Bobby.
So you'll appreciate that I have to interview everyone.
Yes, of course, yes.
Is it possible that Warren could have stolen any of your personal belongings?
No, I would have noticed. I'm fussy about my appearance, but not to the point of bringing shampoo to work.
So you're aware of what was smuggled?
No, not really. just what I heard.
You asked to see me, Governor?
Oh, yes. It was Miss Ferguson who found Warren with the goods.
Oh, forgive me if I'm speaking out of turn, but I hope Mr. Proctor isn't under suspicion.
I've already explained that I'm merely questioning people at the moment.
Yes, but I forgot to mention earlier that he's the one person who is in the clear.
Why is that?
Well, you see, I was on duty when Mr. Proctor arrived. He was thoroughly searched, Governor, and there was definitely no contraband on Mr. Proctor.
Last batch coming up.
Ready? I haven't finished this lot yet.
Bobby, come on now, love. Stop worrying about him.
I can't get him off my mind, Jude.
I know, but he's in good hands.
Hey, who's on holidays here? I've got nothing left over there.
In case you hadn't noticed, Bobby is very upset.
Yes, well, we are getting a bit behind, that's all.
Well, then the quotas can go and stuff themselves.
Good morning, ladies. The name's Murphy. You can call me Mr. Murphy.
Welcome aboard.
You must be Desmond, the top dog.
That's right. You can call me Myra.
The comedian. It's a pleasant change. Now, what's all the slacking?
It's nothing really, Mr. Murphy. It's Bobby here. She's very worried about Mr. Dobson.
Yes, nasty business, that. Well, if your second name's Mitchell, I've got some good news for you. You've got a visitor, Mrs. Dobson.
Yeah, did you hear that, Jude? It stands Mrs.
Oh, love.
Better not keep the lady waiting. What about some work from the rest of you? Want to go cracking the whip now, would I?
Doesn't seem like no Frankenstein to me.
No one wants to give a bad impression on their first day.
Well, you'd know, wouldn't you? You're top dog.
How come Reno didn't twig what was going on?
Well, that was the most amazing part. There I was, my mouth shut so Mrs. Reynolds couldn't hear my teeth chattering, when Miss Ferguson said, "It couldn't have been Mr. Ray Proctor. I checked him out myself."
You're kidding.
Honest to God.
Warren, why aren't you in the dining room helping the others?
I was just on my way, Miss Ferguson.
Then move it. You've been here long enough to know the rules, Proctor. No gossiping with the women.
I was just telling how kind of you it was to clear my name with Miss Reynolds.
So I heard. But you left out one important detail. The fact that I can smell your little racket a mile away.
Racket, Miss Ferguson?
Yeah, just you listen to me, Tinkerbell. The only reason you're still drawing your pay is because I didn't want to look bad in front of the governor. Now, I know you smuggled that contraband past me, but it was my job I was looking after, not yours.
Well, at least it's over and done with, and that's the most important thing.
That's where you're wrong. You're only here because of me. You owe me quite a debt, Proctor. And I'll be collecting.
I must admit I'm not looking forward to this. She certainly put us in an awkward position.
Yes. It's always embarrassing when one of our side turns.
Doesn't look as though she was ever on our side. Well, we better get it over with. Call her in.
Higgins? Mrs. Reynolds, nice to see you again.
I wish I could say the same. Sit down if you like.
Thank you.
Well, you've certainly run up quite a few charges, including jumping bail and running off to Sydney.
Just catching up on some old friends.
Judging from this, those so-called friends were former prisoners who'd received unusually early releases, signed by you. Frankly, I find it difficult to understand that you, of all people, could have become involved in these schemes. Apparently, you haven't denied any of it.
Why should I? The truth is, I was bored. All those hard luck stories and innocent faces. Unbearable. So I decided to try a little trading, push the system a bit. A few things the prisoners wanted in exchange for a few favors I could use. Let's face it, what prisoner doesn't want a shorter sentence?
And you obviously never stopped to think of the effect that this would have on the people running those prisons.
What difference does it make? Nothing ever changes. It's them and us.
I shouldn't have to remind you that you are now one of them.
Technically. It's not quite the same, is it? We're professionals. We understand each other.
I disagree. As long as you're in here, you'll be treated the same as everyone else.
However, it'd be foolish to pretend that there won't be some women who may not take kindly to your presence. For the moment, you'll be kept in the isolation block.
Very thoughtful.
Mrs. Morris, would you take Sarah Higgins to her cell, please?
By the way, I hope you haven't forgotten that little favor I did for you.
Favor?
Mitchell, Mrs. Reynolds, remember? You asked me to be lenient on her. I kept my side of the bargain. I hope you're going to keep yours.
Let's go.
Geez, I can't believe it. Stan wants me to visit him. Do you reckon Mrs. Reynolds will let me?
Well, that's up for her to decide.
I guess so.
You know, Mrs. Dobson seems to think a lot of you, Mitchell.
Oh, yeah. I reckon she's okay too.
Well, she's a fine family woman. You could learn a lot from someone like her. Well, I better get you back to work.
Oh, do we have to? Can't keep me mind on the job with all this Stan stuff. Anyway, it's nearly lunchtime.
You're dead right. Perhaps I better get you straight back to your dorm, eh?
Oh, beauty, Mr. Murphy.
Well, let's just say that any mate of Stan's is a mate of mine, eh?
Do you know Stan, do you?
Worked with him for 10 years at Woodridge.
Fair dinkum.
Mind you, we didn't get to see a lot of each other. Worked in different blocks for the most part. But old Stan was a pretty popular fella over there. A lot of the blokes will be sorry to hear he's laid up. Tell me, Mitchell.
Oh, why don't you call me Bobby? Stan always does.
Yeah, right, Bobby. Your mates in here, they treat you all right?
Oh, they're great. Geez, there's Jude, Myra, Pix, all of them. Rabbit's about as mad as a bunch of chooks, but she's all right once you get to know her. Reckon I'd go crazy without me mates. Especially Jude. She's sort of like a mum to me.
Got a few enemies too, by the look of you. Who gave you the nose job?
You wouldn't want me to lag, would you?
No, I suppose not. But look, any time you get into trouble that you can't handle, just call on me, okay?
Sure. Thanks.
Here we are.
So, this is home. Looks worse this side of the fence.
You'll get used to it. You probably know this inside out, but now you're going to have to live by it. A duty officer will bring your meals, and another officer will be in the vicinity all the time, in case you need help.
You honestly think one officer's going to be enough if any of that rabble come looking for me?
Perhaps this rabble isn't quite the mob you take it for.
Come off it, Mrs. Morris. They're a rat pack. They breed in places like this.
Just you keep your ideas to yourself.
And pretend it isn't true? Let me tell you, if civilization ever pulled its head out of the sand, it'd see the obvious solution. Sterilization. Stop them passing it down the line.
Is that so? Well, for your information, I was bred in a place like this. Yes. Yes, my mother happened to be one of those women you'd like to see sterilized. But judging by present company, I consider myself damn lucky I had the upbringing I did.
I wasn't actually referring to you, Mrs. Morris.
I don't care who you were referring to. Just make your bed. I'll be back in half an hour to check.
Reckon she's known Stan for years.
Yeah, well, there you go. The grapevine ain't what it's supposed to be.
Oh, I don't know. Meg Morris and Ferguson work together, but I wouldn't call them mates.
Not that bad, Myra.
Yeah, well, for all our sakes, I hope you're right. Aye.
Guess what? There's something really exciting going on up in isolation.
I was just taking the food trays
The
up.
screws, everything's really hush-hush. Can't get a word about it from anyone.
Keep us posted.
You going to serve it or stand around talking about it?
Put a sock in it, Francis.
Yeah, that goes double.
Shut up, Steve. Been getting a real big head since Lou's been out, hasn't she?
Don't worry about her. She's only small fry. Hey, listen, when you see Karen, will you give her my regards?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, any chance of me getting some chockies or something later?
No way. The fruit's been hanging around like a bad smell all day.
Not bad.
About bloody time. One special serve coming right up.
What are you doing, you great lump? That'll teach the bitch.
Oh, sounds like a hot number up in isolation.
Yeah, I suppose.
Could be a celebrity or something.
Oh, no, love. When people are put in there, it's for special protection.
Well, one thing's for certain. They can't keep them up there forever. Whoever it is going to have to come out sooner or later.
Bloody high heels.
I'm sorry. I hope it didn't frighten you. I just wanted to apologise for scaring you, giving you the wrong impression.
I can think of other ways to attract a girl's attention.
Yeah. Look, how about I buy you some lunch to make up for it? I'd be a liar if I said I wasn't going to anyway.
I don't know. I hate crowds.
Don't worry, I know just the place. Great food. Just you, me, and the waiter. What do you say?
Why not?
Look, Jude, the Bobby thing is over and done with. We can't keep on hassling like this.
Well, that bruise on her face is kind of hard to ignore.
Yeah, sometimes you've just got to get the message through.
Yeah, well, you've convinced everyone here. What else do you want?
I want you with me, not against me. Look, excuse me. We're a team, right? We've been through a lot together.
I know that, Myra. But Bobby is just a kid.
A kid that needs to be taught a lesson, like anyone else. Anyway, let's keep our fingers crossed for a visit to Stan, eh? She's in with Reno now.
Heard anything about Lou? Just my luck, the news will be over. Put the tranny on.
What's it worth, trumpet face? Clean set of clothes, maybe?
Your lips are flapping again, Francis. Now, why don't you go and get them fixed?
Always got someone fighting your battles, haven't you? Why don't you all just stick it? Give me my tranny.
When we're good and ready. Starting to be a problem, that one.
Oh, God, I missed the headlines. How the hell are you supposed to run a book?
She's getting into that bookie stuff, isn't she?
Yeah, I know, and it worries me, too.
Visiting Justice Sarah Higgins.
Get this.
Corrective Services.
Sarah Higgins.
Now being held in custody in Wentworth Detention Centre and due to stand trial
Oh,
on bribery and corruption charges.
So that's our mystery guest.
Sydney's Kingsford Smith Airport.
The Iron Lady herself.
I wouldn't want to be in her shoes. She gave Reb extra time, didn't she?
Yeah, not to mention Dot.
And the others. You realise what that means, don't you?
Yeah. Trouble with a capital T.
And although Stan is still very ill, they feel that a visit from you would help his recovery.
Yeah, well, I'd do anything to help Stan, honest.
Mrs. Dobson thinks so, and I do too. That's why I'm allowing the visit.
All right. Thanks, Mrs. Reynolds.
Before you become too excited, Mitchell, I think I should tell you that Mrs. Dobson told me a few other things. Things about your day out with them.
Told you about the card game, did she?
You know exactly what I'm talking about? The small matter of a housebreaking?
I didn't mean to break in. My little sister was stuck in there with a busted leg. I had to do something.
Yes, but you also betrayed the trust the Dobsons placed in you. There were other ways you could have helped your sister.
Suppose this means I'll get another charge.
I'm willing to overlook it for the moment. But I warn you, the slightest sign of reckless behaviour on your visit to the hospital and it'll be a completely different matter. Do you understand?
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Bryant, isn't it?
Yeah, still on my pea plates.
Young Mitchell had some nice things to say about you this morning. You two are pretty close, aren't you?
Yeah, I guess we are. She's sort of like a second daughter to me.
Oh, you've got a daughter then.
Yeah, Laurie, she's interstate.
You must miss her. And your husband, too.
Yeah, well, I do miss my daughter, but as far as the husband part's concerned, I never got around that far. You want to talk about husbands, that's Pixie Mason.
Yes, he's quite a character.
Sure is. The only marriage I ever had was with Driscoll House.
It's that refuge for weak women, isn't it? Runaways, that sort of thing.
Oh, I wouldn't say they were exactly weak women. They were women with special problems. I'm a casualty of the place myself.
Oh?
I did a friend a special favor. She was in a lot of pain. The judge thanked me a lot. He gave me 5 years for aiding and abetting a suicide.
Perhaps we should leave the running of places like that to the experts.
Like who, for instance?
Qualified people from the department. They're more experienced in handling those sort of situations.
You reckon? Look, I've been through this 100
Well, I can't
times.
be chatting here all day. I've got too much to do. I'll see you later.
Yeah. I'm not going anywhere, am I?
Well, what do you think?
Not exactly Finelli's, but not bad.
You've got very classy taste. Let me try and guess what line of work you're in. Promotions? PR? Lady of leisure, perhaps?
Why don't we talk about you? I'd say you're in the advertising business, right?
Near enough. To good judgment. And to you. Listen, how about I meet you after work and we head downtown, hit the clubs or something?
Sounds good.
Okay, it's a date. I'll pick you up. Where'd you say your apartment was again?
I didn't. I'll be back in a minute, okay?
Okay, take your time.
Nothing but beautiful music and bloody talk.
Reckon you'll be paying out a fortune on Kelly Rabbit.
Oh, yeah? What if she's already been caught?
And what if she hasn't? Just make sure you don't welsh on your bets.
I wish I was back on kitchen duty. Francis has been up my nose all afternoon just because I spilt some food on it accidentally.
Yeah, well, don't take any notice of her. She's only good at tongue lashings when she's on her own.
I just heard from Mrs. Morris that Bobby's off seeing Stan the man.
Oh, great news. Did you hear anything about Higgins on your travels?
Well, usual no comment, but I did have a chat with the new screw.
Well, what's he got to say for himself?
Nothing much. In fact, when I mentioned Driscoll, he was pretty down on it. I hate to admit this, but you may be right. He's starting to give me the creeps.
Well, I don't want to say I told you so,
You told me so.
Should have heard Bobby raving on about him at lunchtime. She reckons he's a new Stan.
I don't think so, love. My gut feeling tells me different.
Gut feeling's right. There's enough between you three to fill a truck.
Shove it.
Never bloody learn, do you, Francis?
What are you going to do? Beat my head in like you did to Mitchell?
Got him into trouble, have we?
Just having a bit of a discussion, Mr. Murphy.
See. Well, I hope you can do better than that, Desmond.
Yes, I can. There's no trouble, Mr. Murphy. Nothing we can't handle amongst ourselves.
I see. None of the officers' business, eh? Well, I think it's time we got something straight. From now on, everything that happens in this prison is Len Murphy's business. From picking your noses to doing the job you're supposed to do. Now get on with it or I'll slap a charge on a few of you.
Excuse me, you didn't see what happened to my escort, did you?
Yes, he left for his business appointment.
But he's stolen me money.
I'd better call the police.
Look, why don't I write you an IOU or give you my bag as security while I pop home and get some more
I
money?
don't think so, madame. He has stolen your money, therefore it is a police matter.
Get it, idiot!
Hello, police.
Well, that's it for me. How'd your first day go?
Oh, not too bad.
Much different from Woodbridge?
No, not really. Same old hard cases. Like that Desmond, for instance.
Well, no trouble, I hope.
No trouble. I think we've come to a perfect understanding.
Oh, that's good. She's been through some pretty tough times lately.
That's not the Desmond that was tied in with that PRG mob, is it?
Yes, it is, as a matter of fact. She gave up an awful lot for the PRG.
Like that bride woman in that Driscoll House business. Tell me, Mrs. Morris, you've been married long?
No longer married at all, I'm afraid. I'm divorced. I have a son, Marty, who's in the Navy.
Oh, that's a fine career, that.
He seems pretty happy. Well, I must be going.
Have a good night.
I hope so. I'm off to a party at Philip Cleary's.
Yes, I heard he's a bit keen on you. You know, it's strange that Bryant never married.
Well, not many lesbians do, I suppose. See you tomorrow.
Up to standard?
Oh, Miss Ferguson, you gave me a fright.
Did I? How thoughtless of me. But then you are a bit edgy today, aren't you?
If you're looking for the women, they're putting out the cattle.
No. I've come for a private chat. To collect that debt you owe me.
Oh, I'd love to help, but I'm terribly behind the schedule.
Then you'll just have to change the schedule, won't you?
Yes. On second thought, sir, I think I can spare you a few minutes.
Good. Now, Proctor, I want you to cook up a little accident for Reb Keaton.
What if she gets hurt?
Catch on real fast, don't you?
Miss Ferguson, no, I can't do this, no.
You'll do as I tell you, Proctor, because I can have you thrown out of here any time I choose.
But Mrs. Reynolds cleared me. You've heard her.
So I did. But then some crims just can't help themselves, can they? What have you got in your bag, Proctor? Looks a bit lumpy. You haven't been stealing, have you?
What have you done? What have you put in there?
Oh, now, would I do something like that? Well, smuggling in contraband to sell to the women. It's lucky for you there aren't any drugs in here, or you'd be facing a jail sentence. Perhaps we should go and have a little chat to the governor. Or perhaps we can discuss that accident instead.
Mr. Dobson, you've got some visitors.
Oh, hello, Bobby.
Hey, Stan, how you feeling?
Oh, could be worse. I'll be all right presently. What about you, young lady? That's a nasty-looking mark on your face.
Oh, yeah.
Not in more trouble, I hope.
No, I sort of walked into a door.
Glad to see you're okay, Stan. I'll be outside when you're finished. Remember what the nurse said about not getting Mr. Dobson too excited.
No worries.
Look forward to seeing you back at Wentworth.
Thank you.
What are these? Hope you like them.
Oh, they're lovely. Very thoughtful of you, Bobby. Maybe the nurse could put them in the vase with the roses Edie brought in.
Roses are nice, aren't they?
Yes, we used to grow them. Won a few prizes with them, too, in our time.
I almost forgot. Bought you some chockies.
Oh, thank you, Bobby.
Mrs. Slattery gave me the dough for them. Sort of from everyone from Wentworth.
I'll keep them till I feel a bit better.
When are you coming back to work, Stan? It's not the same without you. It's because of me, isn't it? Because of that thing with me dad and me little sister. That's why you're in here.
Nonsense. Don't you believe that for a moment. Now, that's why I asked you to come. Because I wanted to tell you that myself.
Yeah. Guess what? Got a new prison officer. Reckons he knows you.
What's his name?
Len Murphy. Reckons he knew you at Woodridge and that you were good mates.
What did you say his name was?
Len Murphy. Why?
You stay away from him. He's a wicked, sadistic man.
What do you mean? He seems all right.
You listen to me. He's a killer. The man's a brutal killer. No, stay away from him, Bobby.
I'm afraid you'll have to leave. Mr. Dobson needs some rest.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down, but the sun sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside, the roses grow. They don't mind the stony ground, but the rose is here